one of my memories that I really treasure about Los Angeles would be when I was a kid. I had an aunt, Aunt Vivian, and she was originally a Broadway actress in the 1920s and also a radio actress and in vaudeville. And I only met her once. I was maybe 11 or 12 years old, and she was married to my grandmother's brother, so she was a great aunt. And we went to visit, and she took one look at me and said, "We got to take you over to Metro Goldwyn Mayer. This kid has got what it takes to be a child star." And, what 10-year-old in those days, living in Los Angeles, getting someone saying something like that to you, it really it sent my mind a reeling. Of course, my parents would let me go, but she told me stories. She had this trunk, and she pulled out of this trunk all of these old costumes and playbills from when she was on Broadway and radio drama and comedy scripts that she had. And she told me that when she died, she was going to leave me all of this. Of course, it never happened. I never saw her again. My parents were afraid to let me go back because they were afraid she was going to trundle me off over to MGM and try and get me a screen test, which thank God she didn't, because I wouldn't have wanted to be a child star knowing what we know today. Anyway, that's a LA memory. Cheers. Hi, this is Leonard Smith from Sense Memory, and it's Friday night, and tonight's cocktail is a tequila sunrise. About 3 ounces of tequila, 5 ounces of orange juice, and a splash of grenadine that sinks to the bottom and creates that sunrise effect. Garnished with an orange and a couple of maraschino cherries, and I added in there some strawberries and a twist of orange. So that's the drink for this evening. What I'm going to talk about tonight is a wonderful perfume by a company called Frank of Los Angeles. It's a niche company, and the only place I was able to find it was at Scent Bar in Los Angeles, and I'll put a link down below to their website so you can go and check it out if you'd like to get some. Now, it comes, there's a little story behind why I chose this particular perfume or cologne. Well, it's actually an eau de parfum. This is the bottle. It really is quite, well, this is the original bottle. Let me put it that way. But first, let me tell you why I chose this. So, a lot of you are familiar with Jerry from Jerry Boy Productions, and he sent me a PM asking me to help him out, and this is what he had to say. He said, "Lanier, I'm looking for a fall-winter frag that is warm, spicy, sweet, maybe a little boozy, and maybe some tobacco and leather too. Something that the ladies will love, love, love. Can you give me your input on some frags?" Well, Jerry, yes. I got to thinking about what you asked, and I checked around within my own collection for something that would fit that bill, and I remembered this incredible fragrance from Frank of Los Angeles. And there's another one that also is very similar, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the notes that we have in Frank of Los Angeles of number 2, this is Frank of Los Angeles number 2. They, for granted, it says they have 3, which are Frank number 2, and Frank number 3. Frank number 3 they don't make anymore because they went through a reorganization of their fragrances and what they wanted them to do. So I did get the first version of Frank number 2, and the notes in Frank number 2 are bergamot, white lavender, coriander, leaves, cognac, plum, fir balsam, coffee bean essence, red maplewood, teakwood, plum leaves, and white musk. Now, it is listed as an aromatic, but to me, you guys, this is a big, bold, boozy Oriental with aromatic underpinnings. I would say that's what I would describe it as. It's about the booze and the plum, and it's mysterious, very sexy, very masculine, and really just, it has great projection. I wore it. I took it with me when I went to Los Angeles last April, and I wore it the whole time I was there. And people commented on it, just loved it. It really made a hit. And because of Jerry's question, I've rediscovered Frank, and I'm wearing it again, and I'm just really enjoying it. Now, I don't know if you can still get this one, because they now have the new bottle, which I'll put a picture up to show you what the new bottle looks like. But they now have a new bottle, and it's slightly different. But these are the notes in Frank No. 2, the new one. Spices, woods, precious notes of bergamot, balsam, fir, plum, white lavender, and tempered with exotic cognac and coffee beans. So you see it's a little more refined than the original, but I don't know how they could make it any better than this. This is just an incredible fragrance. It's just, Frank No. 2 kind of takes, it not kind of, but actually takes me back to some memories of Los Angeles that I have. Particularly, reminds me of when I was a kid. We used to go into Hollywood, and we'd go to the Brown Derby. The last time I was there, I was in my early 20s. It's no longer there, the Brown Derby on Vine, but it was... If you've ever seen that I Love Lucy episode where she and Vivian Vance and Frawley go to the Brown Derby for a lunch, and they run into William Holden, and there's well, if you've seen it, it's very funny. But anyway, they really did a great job of recreating what it looked like with the stars, pictures all on the walls behind the great banquettes, and this reminds me of those two particular restaurants in the sense of the wonderful smells of the woods, and even though there's no leather in it, I get that wonderful, really well-worked, expensive leather feel in this. It's just amazing. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. Now, the other scent that comes close to it would be Michael by Michael Kors. Now, Michael by Michael Kors, it has a lot of similar notes, especially the plum. The plum in both of these is just really rich and involving, and just really takes you on a journey that is quite beautiful. But it has a lot of similar notes. This one also has suede, definitely has leather in it. So for someone like Jerry, this might also be a great idea for a boozy, leathery scent that the women will love, because both of these get great compliments. So there you have it, my take in particular on Frank No. 2, and with a little backup here by Michael Kors. I hope that helps you, Jerry, and I'll keep my eye out for some others for you and let you know. In the meantime, remember to wear what you love and not what they say you should like.